Okay, we're up to video number 19 for the Southern and Sovereign Pest Control new accounting and scheduling system. It's going to be a Microsoft Dynamics Navision. In this video, we're going to talk about specifically the Renewal Info tab and how we're going to record the information from our new ICs. Okay, and again, this is really all about after we run an IC, or an initial contract for a new customer, how we're going to record the contract information on the customer card. And we're going to put that on the Renewal Info tab, which sits on the customer card. Now, this process is going to be done or updated after a new IC is produced. So probably the following day or maybe the same day we'll work out something. But one thing I want to emphasize this is there's not going to be any import. Our current system, we have lead management, CMS, and Navision, and you got to take the information from lead management, put it into customer management, and then send it to Navision. Since we're just working, everything is in Navision, there's no import after we create the initial customer account. So I have the smiley face here because the import that we do now is a big process and there's often problems with it. So it's going to be a very nice change not to have to worry about this import. So we're just going to show the process, how we're going to create the information, and I'm going to show how Laurie is going to find the customers or the customer accounts that she needs to update via the invoice register and the service item after report. And then Laurie will finalize the tab, and we're actually going to scan the new contracts and link them to the actual customer card. So I'm going to go through that process, with two accounts that we're going to simulate here. So okay, so I'm going to get out of here and go into the test system. And I've got two service orders that are created to simulate new IC contracts, or new IC appointments, I should say. So I'm going to go in and find both of these. All right, the first one here is this one on Apple Ridge Road. So I'm going to open this service order. Okay, what we have here, we see we have a 1-year IC termite and pest plan for 356 that Ray is running today at 3 o'clock. So we're going to simulate that Ray is calling in, that this one's going through production, and we're going to finalize the appointment. So we've done this in prior videos. Ray will call it in. This one's pretty simple since we're completing the appointment as is. And I'm going to put in one chemical just to make, this is something that we always do. Say it was 10 glue boards, and say he put them in the kitchen. There'd be no application equipment used. And let's say the target pest was ants. So customer gives us a check, number 555. We put in the billing code. Okay. Now this one is completed. So the dispatch department would go and post this appointment. Okay, so now let's go in and look at what Laurie would do the next day or the same day, to update their account properly. Well, what she's going to do, she's going to run one of two reports. She's either going to run the invoice register, which we can fill in for all the appointments that were run today, and she could somehow, and we would go in and filter it by the IC appointments. But here's a list of the appointments that we posted today. And you see here on the list, here is the one for MD06245 is the customer account number. And you see we did the 1-year termite pest plan. Another report that we have that will give the similar information is this service item after report. And this is a little bit more detailed, but it will give the IC information as far as what went through production. So and we can put this one into a spreadsheet. I'm going to do that now. Again, same thing, it gives the list of all the information regarding these appointments. And you see here is the appointment, this IC that just went through. So we could manipulate the data in this spreadsheet so Lori could get a list of the ICs, and what she really is going to need, the account number and the renewal price and the expiration date. So then what we would do here, she has this information. We're going to go back into that customer account. Go to MD06245. So here we're on that account, and while she's on that account, she can even double check it and go to reports, check the invoice register for this customer. Here she can see, okay, we did the IC yesterday for today for 356. Then she's going to go in and fill in the contract information. It's very simple. So the plan type, 1-year termite and pest, renewal price is 356. Expiration date is September 2nd. The month week would be 91. See here, we've created a contract. Now that contract information is in the system, and she would be done. Or well, not she wouldn't be done, but then the next step, what we would do is we have a process where we're going to scan the contracts, which we do now and save on our network. But we're going to go in and actually link the contracts to this customer account. And we covered this on a prior video, how we can link documents to a NatNavision account. So we create a link, we go here and say new, and then we go find wherever on our network we've got that contract saved. So I've got one sitting on the desktop here that I'm going to attach just for practice. So I click here, we've got the contract attached, you hit save, and then that's permanent. So I'm going to click out of here, and then anytime in the future where we've got this IC, if you wanted to click on links, you see you got the contract here, you could click here, and it would actually open the document. And again, this isn't a contract, but where you could actually view their contract. So let's go in and do one more. I've got one more service order set up. And so just to demonstrate this process one more time. So I'm going back to service orders, and I just know that I set another one up for today. Whoops. Go in by order date and put in September 2nd. Okay, and I got this one on Winding Woods Way. Okay, and again, now we're going to put ourselves in the position of the dispatch department. Alan is running this appointment for a 2-year termite and pest control. Let's see, okay, this was set up by B. McMichael. Okay, so Alan calls it in. Let's keep it simple. Let's say it's going through as is, and we'll put in some chemical information just to keep the simulation as real as possible. And we'll just say put these in garage. Okay. So then let's say the customer gives us a check for their $200 down payment. We put in the billing code. Now this one's finalized. It's going through production. And so we would hit post. And again, this is being done by the dispatch department as the technicians call in the services. And we had a prior video about this. Hit yes. Okay, so it's posted. Now let's go look at the 2 reports that, again, Lori could use to determine which ICs, what customers had ICs go through production. So I go to the invoice register. We'd already set it up for September 2nd. I hit preview. Now we've got C added to the list here. We've got this customer, MD06246. And you see there's the description of the 2-year termite and pest control plan that went through. And again, we could filter this report just to give us IC information if we wanted to. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to go in and look at the service item after report, which is the report that we can export into a spreadsheet. Gives us a little more detailed data, but we could also use this to find the information. Here you see here's that appointment. You see 2-year IC, you see the 572, you see the posting date, you see who ran it. So again, we've got 2 different reports that we could use. So again, all Lori basically would be doing is getting a list of the ICs that went through production. And then once she has that information, she would open their customer account, which I'm going to do now. Okay, and again, probably would be a good idea to go just to make sure she's got the right account. Check the invoice register on this account. You see here, when you click on the account, it gives you, it actually populates with their nav account number. It filters that way. I hit preview, and there it is. You see that IC that was posted, the 2-year contract. So then all Lori would do is just go here. Again, keep in mind, there's no import or any of that to mess with because the account has already been created when we set the appointment initially. So we go to plan type, and this one we'd want 2-year, 2TP, put in the renewal price, put in the contract date, put in a month week. Then we would go in, we'd have the option to go in, scan the contract, and then link it to this, to the Navision card. I'm just going to pick this document here and just go ahead and link that, hit save, pretend it's the contract. Now we've got that link there. So if you ever clicked on links again, it's in a PDF, you'd be able to open that document. This is actually a service ticket, but again, we're pretending that it's a contract. Also note just here that we also have the ability, if they actually added a pet lover service, you have the ability to add multiple contracts here. So you can have, multiple contracts, and not only that, if you cancel one, you can add a second one or a third one. So it gives us the ability to, have multiple contracts. But again, that's going to be the process. It goes through production. We have a list. We see what went through, based on their nav account number, and then we, again, the nav account number, which is here and here. And then we're just updating the contract information here. It's a pretty simple process, and we had a prior video on how, on the other end of this, where we use this same tab to manage the cancellation and PIC information. So anyway, that will conclude this video.